Mayfair Gin is distilled at Thames Distillers, which is in London. It is the only independent gin distillery. I'm the managing director. My family have been associated with producing gin in London since the end of the 17th century, when my 8th great grandfather was apprenticed to a distiller in the Worshipful Company of Distillers. And from that day to this, it's on my mother's side, we have been distillers of gin in London. Gin, London gin, is the quintessential English spirit. It really is. It was created in this country. It was built and developed in this country, and it was exported around the world by Englishmen when they were off sort of busy colonising the world, while they tried to make potloads of money. And it travelled so easily because it was high strength spirit. It would travel. It was fine. You could put it, in those days they put it in oak casks. That's why some gins used to be straw coloured, because funny enough, of course, they'd taken a bit of colour out of the oak by the time they got to India. But we found we could, and you could mix it so well. And of course, I mean, if you go back to a lot of people, I mean, in my sort of father's and grandfather's generation, if you were in the Navy, you drank pink gin, and you drank pink gin because it was gin, water, and Angostura bitters. Absolutely superb. It was good for the digestion, and it was good for keeping all the bugs and whatever at bay. Quintessentially, the Englishman would have had his gin and tonic, or the lady perhaps had dry martini before lunch, maybe before dinner, but really sort of pre-lunch. What's happening with the newer, younger sort of my children's generation and below is they've actually taken this to one. They've said, well, hang on, well, it doesn't have to be that restricted. So they drink, as they do in Spain, they drink gin and tonic after dinner. They say, well, what do you want? You want something nice, long and refreshing after dinner. So they'll drink a gin and tonic then. And certainly these days, rather than perhaps having a whiskey and soda before dinner, they'll have a gin and tonic or a dry martini or a cocktail. And of course the cocktails are such fun. And gin is made for cocktails. Again, what does vodka do to a cocktail? It adds alcohol. End of subject. Gin adds flavour into it as well. So you put that botanical flavour into the cocktail and really give the thing something to live with. Mayfair really is sort of set to actually, it epitomises sort of classic London dry gin style. It takes the gin concept and it absolutely hones it down. It is right down to the point. There's not a myriad of botanicals in there. You haven't got sort of a whole load of things and various things coming at different angles. It is gin almost at London gin's purest. Clear, clean, crisp, beautiful development of the juniper with the coriander, then backed up with the other botanicals in there, which is superb either in gin and tonic or with a dry martini or indeed in a cocktail.
How would you have it?
How would I have it? All those ways. I mean, why restrict yourself to just one way of having it?